We scroll through our lives in full saturation, yet we crave a softer truth, something weathered, flawed, human. Hence, Instagram's film filter, not merely a tool, but a ritual of nostalgia, an effective alchemy that transforms the sterile into the sincere. We don't just want to share moments. We want them to look as if they were earned. The paradox isn't subtle. Authenticity must now be simulated, bought in curated packets of decays. This is not just aesthetic preference. It's a symptom of a deeper cultural economy. We trade in emotional residue now, not original experiences. A filtered memory sells more than an unmediated truth, because authenticity has become too unstable to trust without packaging. We don't want reality. We want the feeling that it once was real.
In the early days of cinema, editors like William Maurice Campbell relied on mechanical precision, spiking film with razor blades and masking fluid to construct narrative flow.
Roland Barthes has introduced us to Studium and Punctum. Studium was the general interest in a photograph, its subject, context, theme. But Punctum, the detail that pricks the viewer, that escapes the photographer's control, is what made an image unforgettable. It wasn't just aesthetic, it was visceral. A smudge of light on a face, the tilt of a head, it carried raw presence. Now, that unfiltered jolt is no longer accidental. It's algorithmic. The very thing we once called authenticity, the erosion of contingency in media, means that emotional weight is no longer earned, it's inserted. You don't stumble across a punctum anymore. You scroll until it shows up. Filters offer the look of memory without its burden. We want our images to feel lived in, but are terrified of actually living in them. So we simulate decay. Scratches on digital stills, film grain on phone photos. Authenticity becomes just another aesthetic choice. The past no longer offers us mystery, it offers efficiency. Nostalgia is not the result of memory, but a product of curation. We use AI to generate emotional cues that once emerged from lived experience. The imperfections are calculated. Every grain, every noise pattern designed for maximum warmth with minimal risks. It's as if we've built a factory where time itself can be bottled and sold. Not just the look of authenticity, but the algorithmic simulation of presence.
And in the tech world, there's new concerns over the safety of artificial intelligence after the head of Anthropic's AI safety resigned this Monday. Marinak Sharma writing in a post on X that the world is in peril, and not just from AI or bioweapons, but from a whole series of interconnected crises unfolding in this very moment. And Sharma went on to say that I've achieved what I wanted to here at Anthropic, which makes a popular.
We have a new human being, and that's Chris Potter of Mimetics Corporation, a new synthesizer, the Yamaha DX100, and a new computer, the Commodore Amiga.
In the 1980s, when media promised perfect musical precision, producers began noticing something was missing: soul. The robotic clockwork of digital sequences lacked what we now call humanization. To correct this, engineers added jitter, timing variance, and uneven dynamics to mimic live performance errors. But here's the twist: these imperfections were not spontaneous expressions of artistry. They were algorithmic simulations applied like a software patch. What had once been an accident of human frailty was now the line between live performance and algorithmic mimicry blurred. What we now call a groove was once the result of a drummer's offbeat feel or a pianist's subtle rubato. But by the 90s, groove was just another setting in a sequencing menu. Yamaha even promoted this with their QY 10 sequencer, boasting that it could add natural swing to any track. In effect, we had transformed human fallibility into a marketable design principle, selling authentic flaws as features for the digital age. This shift from human error to algorithmic mimicry laid the groundwork for today's AI. Generated nostalgia. The same logic that once made digital music feel right now powers deepfakes, hand-drawn animations, and even aged paper textures in video editing software. What was once the fingerprint of a living artist is now a filter applied in post. We don't just remember imperfection anymore. We manufacture it. Neil Postman warned us in Technopoly, technology doesn't just change tools, it redefines meaning itself. The word real becomes a feature set, not an experience. What once signified human presence is now sold as an interface element, like a texture overlay on a digital photo. Even our memories get processed through this machinery. We no longer remember, we render. Authenticity becomes a UI choice. We don't look for truths. We select the right aesthetic filter to make it feel familiar. We've returned to the age of painting, not with brushes, but algorithms. Van Gogh worried about photography, flattening character into surface. Now AI does the same, not in chemicals, but code. The soul is no longer lost in reproduction. It's never been there. And yet we cling to these simulated surfaces as if they carry weight. Nostalgia becomes a tool for emotional scaffolding, not memory but maintenance. We polish our past because the present refuses to stay whole.